Have you ever noticed that your kid takes the longest to fall asleep, right when you need them to fall asleep the most? Like you got something important to do, respond to an email, take a shower, or maybe just watch one more episode of Suits with your partner. And boom, suddenly it's like your toddler sleep system is sponsored by chaos. That's not just bad luck, it's biology. And for me, it all started with one thought that almost broke me. I can't do this. If you're new here, I'm Carol, and this is Raise My Intuition, where we talk about the parenting thoughts that usually stay in your head with the dash of science and humor to support you on this journey. I remember this specific night. My son was 3 months old. This monkey will be the perfect son for now. Usually, my partner would put him to bed, but that night he was out of town for a funeral, so I had no backup. It was just me and this tiny howling human. I was already nervous because I knew I didn't feel great at bedtime. There'd been times where I tried to lie down with him and he would cry. Then I'd pick him up to try to comfort him and still nothing. At that point, I hadn't read about sleep science yet. I was running on fumes and intuition, but I didn't realize how much my limiting beliefs, I can't do this, I'm not the soothing one, weren't just thoughts. I was leaking them into the room, into my baby. And that night, it hit me. I was all he had. There was no rescue team, no one was coming. And if this was a boat, I was the captain. So I needed to steady the ship. That night was the first night I consciously caught the loop. My baby wasn't just fighting sleep, he was mirroring me. See, toddlers, babies, and probably monkeys too, are wired for co-regulation. They borrow our nervous systems to learn how to manage theirs. Their little brains are swimming in mirror neurons, which means they absorb facial expressions, breathing, tone, and even our heart rate. And when we're stressed, even silently, even while smiling, they feel it. It's like Bluetooth, but with emotions. I realized that when I'd had an easier day or no plans afterward, bedtime went smoother. But when I had a pile of work or I was anxious about something else, it was way harder. So that night, I tried something small. I started breathing deeper. I aligned my breath with counting to 100. That's what I usually do when I can't sleep myself. Just enough of a distraction to get out of my own head. And you wouldn't believe it, but something shifted. I calmed. He calmed. I didn't even notice when he fell asleep. It wasn't magic. It was nervous system regulation. Mine first, then his. Now, whether it's bedtime or nap, I've changed how I show up. No matter how chaotic it's been, I slow down, close my eyes, and breathe. I don't even have to count anymore to be grounded. It became less about getting him to sleep and more about getting myself back. And when I feel the urgency creeping in because I want to edit a video like this or watch one more episode of Suits, I catch it. I tell myself I got nowhere else to be because for 10 minutes, I really don't. And weirdly now, I look forward to it. It's a pause, a moment to breathe, tiny meditation, side by side with my kid. So do yourself a favor and slow down first. They'll follow. Let me know in the comments how this resonates with you. And check out this next one to see how your brain turns chaos into love, literally according to science.